I have a question. How many of you all have kids? How many of you have grandkids? Nieces, nephews, cousins? And what if one of them came to you and told you, someone touched me? And you're like, what do you mean someone touched you? They touched me in a way that, I didn't feel comfortable. So, you ask them like, okay, what do you mean you touched them in a way that, you didn't feel right? I mean, how did they touch you? Where did they touch you? Well, they told me if I tell anybody that they would hurt you. So now, you're trying to figure out, okay, well, what's going on? What's going on? So that child tells you that someone has physically touched them in their private areas. So now, what do you do? What do you do? I know what I would do. I would be pissed, upset, ready to kill somebody if they was to touch my niece or my nephew in a way. And that's what my speech is about. It's about the death penalty for pedophiles. There's a new law that has just been passed, and under the new law, individuals found guilty twice, a new criminal offense called ongoing sexual abuse of children could get the death penalty or life without parole. Now, the first conviction will carry a sentence of 25 to life with parole. The second offense will be a capital crime punishable by death or by life in prison, which a jury would have to make that for them. But first we ask ourselves, what is a pedophile? What is a pedophile? A pedophile is a person who has a sexual desire for children or who has committed the crime of sex with a child. The disease that they gave this sickness is called pedophilia. And it's a psychosexual disorder which causes the pedophile to act upon these urges. Now, in order for us to try to figure out, what to do about this situation, first we need to find out exactly what is the causes, and we need to know what to look for in a person, because a pedophile could be anybody. A pedophile could be one of you in here. A pedophile could be the mother. A pedophile could be the father. A pedophile is unprofessional. A pedophile has no respect of persons. It can be anybody in your family. So what do you tell your kids if their mother or their father is touching them in that way? How do you handle that situation? Well, the best thing to do is you have to talk to your kids, your nieces, your nephews, your grandchildren. You have to talk to them, and you have to make them feel comfortable enough to come to you and be able to talk to you about these things. You need to make them aware that these people do exist out here, because they exist out here. And they're killing little kids, they're raping them, they're just doing all kind of horrible things to them. And they're putting them in jail, but they're getting right back out and they're doing the same thing. And some of the pedophiles even tell the psychiatrists, the judges, or whoever, if you let me out, I'm going to do it again. So, what is the causes? Some of the causes are the need to dominate. That's why more are males. That's why a lot of pedophiles are males. Some experts say it's a psychological rather than a biological thing. Others say it's the result of being sexually abused. Some even say they never matured psychologically. What are the symptoms? Some of the symptoms that you can look for in a pedophile: they usually volunteer service at athletic teams, Boy Scouts, Girl Scout troop groups, religious and civic organizations, and just like anywhere where there's a lot of kids, like on the playground or even like in schools. They have, pedophiles working, right there with our kids, and we never know it. And so they say the onset usually occurs during adolescence. Now, in the U.S., they say about 50% of men arrested for pedophilia are married. Scary. Treatments. Now, they say it can be treated. Some say it can, some psychologists say it can. My personal opinion, I don't think it can be treated. Psychotherapy, but it does not have a high rate of success. Castration is also offered, but a pedophile can use the blunt object to rape a kid or rape anybody. If they want to do it, they're going to do it. If they want to kill them, they're going to kill them. They can also say female hormones are used and it's supposed to cut the urges down, but they say they can go on the black market and they can get something that can stop that. So the best thing they actually want us to do is the prevention. It's like, how do you prevent this from happening to your child? And like I said earlier, they said never allow your children to be in situations with an adult by themselves. But how do you know? I mean, you can't watch your kid 24/7. So how do you know? We don't. We don't. We just have to do the best we can and, you know, talk to our kids and make sure our kids are comfortable enough to come to us and tell us that, you know, if something is happening to them or if someone touched them in the wrong way, you know, they can't fear, they can't be in fear of this situation. It's just, it's horrible. But under this new law, they said that it's not going to affect, like the Romeo and Juliet, with the teenagers. It won't affect them or any way like that because they don't want to have like a teenager who had sex with a 15-year-old. He gets 25 years, so it won't affect them. But many states, they have adopted the legislation that requires periodic background checks by any adult who works with children. They also have the Megan's Law, which was passed in 1996, and it authorizes the local law enforcement to notify the public about a sex offender living or working in your community. So you can actually go online and you can find out if any pedophiles are living in your community or working, you know, within your environment. You can go and you can find out. So there's a lot of information out there. So the best thing to do, we just have to talk to our kids, and we have to try to protect our kids the best way we can.
Thank you. Thank you.